Hi guys, Amy Starr Allen here. And in this video today, I just wanted to have a little bit more of a heart-to-heart type of video. I just got home from a week in Salt Lake City at the Freedom Fest event, and it was extremely life-changing, not just for me, but for everybody that was there. And it was different than any event that I've ever been to. So I wanted to kind of share some of the things that I'm coming away from this event with, some of the things that have changed me profoundly at a core level, and just pass some of those experiences along to you. And I also thought it might be kind of fun to share with you. I received a few awards at the event, which were the most meaningful awards that I've ever received in my entire life. And I've received a lot of awards in my life. Just so you know, these aren't the first awards I've ever received, but they just are so much more meaningful than anything else that I've ever received. And so the awards are made of glass, and so after the night that I received them, I put them into their boxes and brought them home, and they're still in their boxes. So I thought it might be fun to take them out of the boxes while I'm on camera today and share with you a little bit about each one and the meaning behind it while I'm in this video. So I think one of the biggest reasons that this event felt so different, not just for me, but for everybody, was that it was a not-for-profit event. So the goal was to keep the costs as low as possible so that any leftover money that was raised through the purchase of tickets could go to our favorite charity, which you guys have heard me talk about before, Feed My Starving Children. And so because it was not for profit, everybody showed up ready to serve and ready to give. Even before the event, we figured out different ways that different people could be in charge of different aspects of the event so that we could just serve and so that we could keep the costs down. And what ended up happening was everybody just showed up from a place of service in a way I've never seen before. And we were able to donate over 12,000, I think it was something like 12,200 meals to starving children. So I'm so blown away by that. Like, I am so proud to have contributed to these children's lives. And one of the representatives from Feed My Starving Children actually came via Zoom to our event and shared his gratitude for the work that we're doing, as well as just gave us some more insight into the organization and the difference that it's making for these children, and because of the nutrients that they're receiving from the types of meals that they're getting through, the work that we're doing. And so it's just, for me, having a meaning like that for everything that I do just makes my work so much more valuable and so much more meaningful. And I'm so much more driven than I've ever been by money or, being recognized for how much money I'm making or anything like that. Like, to me, to be able to contribute in this way is so huge. And so I'm so blown away by the fact that we were able to donate over 12,000 meals to these kids. But I'm also so blown away by the way people showed up this week. Just full, heart-centered, like ready to just give in every way. And I could go on with a list of who did what and contributed and everything. I don't have time to do that in this video, but what I do want to do is just give you some, just a couple of examples of the types of things that happened at the Freedom Fest this week. One of the things that all of us that were there came away with, and a lot of the people that were on the live stream have said the same thing, is that there's no way to put what we experienced into words. It's almost like we were touched by something bigger than us. And there were so many tears shed and so many breakthroughs and just so much love. And, it's hard for me to put it into words. The word that has been coming up for me over and over again is the word overwhelming. Like, I'm overwhelmed with, in a good way, with the feelings that I have and the amount of love that I experienced this last week and the difference that we're all committed to making in the world. And it's overwhelming. And I felt this way before I went to the event about what I'm doing and being a part of the Home Business Academy and everything that we're doing here. But being together with everybody just brought that out in a much more powerful way. And just having the ability to have conversations with people and spend quality time with people was just amazing. Just something else about the community here that I want to say about the community here is just that there's no judgment here. Everybody just is so accepting of everybody for exactly who they are and where they are in their lives. And personally, I feel held. That's the best way I can describe it, by this community in a way that I've never experienced before. I am currently going through a lot of challenges in my life, and even the people that have no idea what those challenges are like I said, I just feel held by the love and the support in this community. And I know I'm not the only one. We all showed up in our own way with our own backgrounds and our own challenges, and every single person in this community was held by the rest of the community in a way that I've literally never experienced before. There's no competition at all. Everybody is here to help each other in every way that they possibly can. And it's so, so, so beautiful and so valuable. All right, I think what I'll do now is I'll just share some of the awards, because I think that these awards say a lot about our organization, the amount of thought that went into these awards and what they represent. It's so different than anything I've ever experienced before. I've been in companies where we got awards for ranks, when you sponsor a certain number of people or you make a certain amount of money or whatever, something like that. And, that's what you do to be recognized. And these awards are different than that. Let me just start off by saying that Mike Hobbs and Paul Hutchings, the founder of our company, they're so committed to doing things differently here. Like the way that they go about running this company is so different than anything I've ever experienced. And I always say, and I've said a lot this week, as people's minds have been blown by the level of love and contribution that is a part of this community, is that in all organizations, everything always trickles down from the top. And these guys are like two of the biggest beacons of light that I have ever known in my entire life. They're so heart-centered, they're so generous and giving with their time and their hearts, and I can't even put it into words. I've never seen anything like it. And before I came to the event, I already knew this. I mean, I've met these guys in person before, and I've been working with them now for 2.5 years inside of this organization. And the way that they show up blows my mind every day. It literally blows my mind who these guys are. But after spending 5 days in person with them, the level of respect that I have has just grown so much. Like, it's incredible who they are. So even when it comes to wanting to recognize the people in their community, they wanted to do that in a different way. They want to do everything in a different way here, in a way that matters. And so they didn't want to recognize people for how much money they've made or how many sales they've made or what any kind of rank or anything like that. So they put together these awards that are just different than any other kinds of awards that I've ever seen. And the way that they presented them was so beautiful as well. They talked a little bit about each person that was receiving the award, and it was just awesome. So I'll start by showing you some of those. So here's one. These are the cool boxes that they come in. So they had these different awards that were for like character awards. And this one that I received is for the Thankful Heart Award. The gratitude. And I was recognized because I'm grateful. Like, who does that, And this just means so much to me because I am so grateful. I'm grateful every day for this community, like beyond anything that I can describe. It really, really, really is hard to describe how grateful I am for this place and these people. And so they gave me an award for that. I can't even help but to be grateful, but they recognized that and gave me an award for that. So that's the first one. Another one like that, same size. And this one is the Golden Mike Award, Voice of Freedom. And this was for different people in our community that contribute in different ways on the masterminds and the calls and things like that. So it's my honor to serve. It's my honor to help lead the call or to, help on the masterminds and stuff like that. But they gave me an award for it, which is, I just think, so beautiful. So there's that one. And then this one's different. And this one's going to really make me cry. So what they did was they wanted to come up with a way to recognize people for the amount of meals that they've helped to donate to the children. And this is one of the things, like I said, that touches my heart more than anything else about my work here. And so I love that I have this award to remind me about that difference. And this is a benefactor, level of benefactor, which is when you've contributed a minimum of 500 meals to the children, and it says add meliora to better things. And so anyway, that's this one, benefactor award. And this is so meaningful to me to be able to look at this and be reminded of that I've contributed these meals to these children. On that note, the next level that you get to with the benefactor, with those types of awards is when you reach 5,000 meals, and then you get a ring. Paul and Mike each have one of the rings, and you get another engraving in the ring each time you go up, from 5,000 to 10,000 and so forth. And I really want one of those rings. I really want something that I can wear and touch on my hand everywhere I go to just remind me about the kids and why I do what I do. And I'm really, really, really motivated by that. I was really blown away when they showed what they're doing with this. And, I got to put Mike's ring on and just, it's a beautiful, simple ring that has our oak tree emblem engraved in it and has some words engraved on the inside. And it's just beautiful. And for me, it's a symbol. And I'm very motivated to, that's my next goal, is to have one of those rings. And so the next day we walked on broken glass, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then afterwards, we went to, took a little field trip to the planetarium where they had IMAX movies and stuff. And we were at the planetarium and we were just kind of hanging around. People were walking around doing their thing before the movies were starting. And I was with Mike and Paul, and I just mentioned to them about the ring, like how motivated I am for my ring because of the kids and that the meaning that has for me. And these guys, right in the middle of the planetarium, both took out their phones and started calculating to figure out, because they told me that I was close to reaching that milestone. But they took out their phones and they looked up my numbers and they crunched some numbers to tell me, how close I am and what I need to do to hit my goal. And I just love them. Like I can't even. It's just hard for me to put into words what that meant to me. And so now I know exactly what I need to do to get my ring. And I'm more motivated than ever, when I think about the difference, the amount of kids that I'm helping to feed. I think they said that so far I've contributed about 3,500 meals to kids. Like that's amazing. So anyway, I'm super blown away by that. I even took either Mike or Paul's, I don't know whose, ring box home with me as a souvenir, but also just to help remind me what I'm doing. It's this really cool box. And so I brought that home as well. So we arrived on Monday, and then all day and all night on Tuesday we had different speakers. And I was one of the speakers. I was honored to be one of the speakers, and I was so moved and blown away by every single person that spoke and the amount of value and heart in our community. And I could go on and on about everything that happened that day, but for the sake of not having this video be too long, I just want to talk about another thing that happened the next day, which was before we went to the planetarium, we had a glass walk. We had this event where Rob Four, who's a member of our community who has been certified to help people walk on broken glass, he was certified in the same way that Tony Robbins was, and he offered to provide this for our community for free for anybody that wanted to do this glass walk. And I was so, the experience was amazing. And when I did it, it was amazing. I definitely had a huge breakthrough. But more than my own experience, the thing that blew me away the most was the way that Rob showed up. He wasn't being paid, and the level of responsibility that he took on, to facilitate something where people could get hurt. Like somebody could lose a toe or something, you know what I mean? And that's on him. And he showed up and he was so vulnerable and he was so nervous and he was moved to tears a couple times and he was definitely really nervous. But the way that he showed up and guided each of us across the glass, and the way that he, kicked off the event and, explained everything to us, and we all signed waivers, and people had a lot of fear. And he held each person through their fear. He literally held our hands and helped us walk across the glass. And he embodied the energy, like the peace that we needed to help us do it. And after each person would go, he would describe what he felt from that person, because he could feel their energy. He could feel an enormous amount of fear, or he could feel something, a weight being lifted off, or different things, and he would share that with us. And I was so moved by what he was doing, and the breakthroughs that people were having were just incredible. But this guy just donated that to us. And then What moved me even more, when we were all done, I offered to hold Rob's hand so he could do it too. And he's been doing this for 14 years. But, we all walked across the glass and it was his turn. So I had got to hold his hand as he walked across the glass, which was such a profound honor for me to be able to do that for him after everything that he did for us. And last night, I posted a picture of it on Facebook of him walking across the glass, and I was holding his hand. And he commented that in 14 years, nobody has ever offered to help him with his walk of faith before. And he was so grateful. And I had no idea, I just wanted to be there for him the way that he was there for all of us. And so I'm so grateful that I got to be that person, and I'm still, as you can see, super moved by that. So there's a lot more that I can say about what transpired over this past week. I really honestly don't even know how to put it into words because it was so profound and so incredible, and I feel like my vibration is so high. I feel like a completely different person that I felt when I was leaving to go to the event. I actually almost felt stopped about going to the event because of my life circumstances and, feeling kind of sad and about some things that are happening in my own life. And I didn't feel like showing up at an event like that and trying to be, speak life into people was something that I should really be doing. And I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad I got out of my own way and did what I came here to do, which is to serve people and to guide people and to immerse myself in a community of people who are all there to hold each other the way that I felt held this week. I'm so, so glad that I went. When I spoke, one of the other things that I did, which was out of my comfort zone, Paul had asked me if I would sing a song at the event. And I told him I didn't really want to travel with my guitar. He offered to bring his guitar. And so I learned a song specifically for the event and played it after I spoke. And the song is called Be the Change, because that's kind of what we're up to here. And so I thought maybe I could play you some of that song today just to give you kind of an idea about how I feel about what we're doing here and what it is to be the change, and just give you a little taste. So hang on, let me grab my guitar. Open your eyes up, people. Take a good look around. Catch the tears filling up all those cracks in the ground. Turn off your televisions. Leave your picture-perfect neighborhoods. A lot of folks out there ain't doing so good. Too many of us left out in the cold. No invitations given, no welcome mats unrolled, but you can be the change you wanna see. Be the hope to those whose lives are far from easy. Reach out and lend a hand. Share everything you can and be the change. Be the change. Carry the world on your shoulders for a little while. Put on someone else's shoes and walk a mile. So many cups runneth over, while so many others going dry. The grass ain't always green on the other side. There's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of wrongs to right, a lot of battles to be won, but you can be the change you wanna see. Be the hope to those whose lives are far from easy. Reach out and lend a hand. Share everything you can and be the change. Be the change. Reach out and lend a hand. Share everything you can and be the change. Be the change. Be the change. That's it. That pretty much sums it up. So anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but I just wanted to share a little of my heart and how I'm feeling after this past week at Freedom Fest. If you guys want to know more about who we are as a community and what we're up to, we would love to have you. We would love to welcome you into our community, and I will leave a link somewhere around this video where you can learn more about who we are and what we do. And as always, if you have any questions at all, feel free to leave me a comment or shoot me a message, and I'd be happy to get your questions answered for you. And more than anything, I hope you got some value or inspiration from this video today. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.